Hello everyone. This is a quick tutorial on how to fill out a Punnett square. You should have the Punnett square handout that I posted. I'm going to go over how to do two of them. So we're going to start by doing the first one on page 1. That says fill out the Punnett square for a plant that has green pods, big G, little g, and a plant that has yellow pods, little g, little g. We're going to use green as the dominant trait and yellow as the recessive trait. And so if you look at the instructions, everything is outlined like that. So for this one, what you're going to do, I know I have it there, but if you don't have a printer, just get a scrap piece of paper and draw yourself a 2x2 grid like this. This is your Punnett square. Now, for one parent, take the genotype, and I actually told you what it is. So for the first one, we'll say big G, little g, and you're going to split the gene. So I'm going to put the big G over one side and the little g over the other side. You could have also put on the side. It doesn't matter which parent goes where. Just as long as you put one on one side, one on the other, it really doesn't matter. I know what I have labeled says father's genes and mother's on top, but that's not necessary. You can put it however you want. And so the other plant had yellow pods, so it's 2 little g's. Okay, so the first thing you have to do, and usually when students make mistakes, it's this part. You need to split the parent genes, and so there's one gene per side, per square. Then what you're going to do is fill in each box with whichever, one gene from one parent and one gene from the other. If it's heterozygous, always put the capital letter first. So here we're going to have big G, little g. And also here we're going to have big G, little g, because this one drops down to here. And then over here we have little g, little g. And over here we have little g, little g. So usually it's not that hard for students to fill in the boxes. One thing we're going to do that you might not do, or most students, they like to get lazy with writing, but to get full credit in my class, not only do you have to write the genotypes in each box, but you also need to write the phenotypes. So what trait you'll end up seeing. So big G, little g, the big G is dominant, so these are still going to be green. So I'm going to write green for these. And then little g, that's recessive. So we'll have yellow, which was the recessive trait. So to get full credit in my class, not only do you need to have the proper genotypes, but you do need to write the phenotypes in each box. So get in the habit of doing that. Lastly is coming up with the probabilities. So the probability of having green seeds versus having yellow seeds, I'll just write that on the side. We can do it as a percent or a fraction. So green seeds, that's 2 out of 4 boxes. So we could say 50%, or you could say 2 out of 4. Okay, either would be acceptable. Same over here, yellow seeds, there's 2 boxes, so that's also 50%, or 2 out of 4. Okay, I like doing percents, but if you want to write it as a fraction, that's fine. So that's how you do a Punnett square. And that's actually how you do, this is the answer to the first problem in your homework. I also just want to go over how to do a Punnett square for if I don't give you the genotypes. So let's skip ahead to problem, let's go to problem 5. Yeah, let's go to problem 5 on the top of page 3. And draw yourself a new Punnett square, a new box, 2x2 grid. Okay? And this one says, fill out a Punnett square for a father who is homozygous dominant for hanging earlobes and a mother who is homozygous recessive for attached earlobes. We're using a capital H for hanging earlobes and a lowercase h for attached earlobes. So if the father is homozygous dominant, that dominant tells us that he's going to have a capital H. And because he's homozygous, they need to be the same. So he actually has two capital H's. Meanwhile, the mother is homozygous recessive, so both of hers are the same, but they're both recessive, which means she's going to be lowercase h, lowercase h. And so this is what they're going to look like. Filling it in, actually every box is going to be big letter, little letter. We call that heterozygous. And then fill in the phenotypes. So because they all have a capital letter, they're all going to be hanging. Okay, so I'm writing just hang, just to make it a little faster, but this is what the Punnett square should look like. And then for the percentages, we're either hanging or attached. Okay, so hanging earlobes is 4 boxes, so we can say 100%, or 4 out of 4. And attached, 0%, or 0 out of 4. So it would actually be impossible for these two parents to have a kid with attached earlobes because there's a 100% probability for hanging. So that's how you fill out these Punnett squares. For this homework, if you don't have a printer and can't print out the handout, then just write your answers on a separate piece of paper. I will post the answers so you can check them. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and good luck.